What is going on, Dragon Ball fans? We are back and we are going to be discussing episode 127. So before we do, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Links down in the description below as normal. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you guys did not have seen the episode yet, go watch it before you come back here. And if you haven't, or if you did, if you still want to watch it, let's begin. Guys, it leaves off right what happened last week where Jiren is looking at everybody. We see 17, we see everybody pretty much ready to fight Jiren. They start fighting, and we see 17 start fighting Jiren, and he's using his blast, and it's not doing anything. Then we see Vegeta and Goku starting to attack him as well. But then we also get to see one of the most craziest things. We see where all three of them are fighting Jiren at the exact same time. This was absolutely spectacular because I was waiting for this for a long time to see how many would be able to even try to stand up to Jiren. Nobody stood up to Jiren. This guy is a freaking beast. He took on 3 fighters and a 4th, which I'll get into. Yes, Frieza's still in the tournament, which if you follow me on Twitter and Instagram, you'll know that. But also, guys, he kept on fighting with every single one of them. Vegeta tries to even get under his skin in the beginning. He tells him, he says, you're just gonna go ahead. He says, we knock you off, you're screwed. And he just was giving trash talk. And that's when Vegeta starts fighting, and then 17 and Goku starts fighting, and then Jiren's just blasting every last one of them. But before, when the episode starts, he was charging up. They got to see his full power. It was like a full lava red on fire, and everyone was like, how are they going to compete with that? And when Jiren is fighting 17 and Vegeta and Goku, he knocks out Goku out of the way, then he knocks 17 out of the way, and then he knocks Vegeta into a crater because the entire tournament is absolutely destroyed. And we just see where 17 comes in to save Vegeta after Vegeta is about ready to get hit by Jiren. 17 takes the hit. He takes the brunt of the hit. He was a huge supporter in this episode, and Vegeta's like, why did he do that, damn android? And they start fighting, and then next thing you know, he knocks both of them out again, and then he knocks both Vegeta and Goku away, and Vegeta is at full power, 17's at full power, and we also see Goku and Kaioken form, and then we also see where they're fighting one another, and then they start going, okay, well, what are we going to do? And he knocks both Vegeta and Goku out, and then when he's about ready to come back at them, 17 says, hey, I have a special surprise for you. He uses a huge attack on Jiren in the back, and that's how come we see that. He appeared behind him, and then he goes, yeah, he says, use my own attack and getting caught in the blast. That was very reckless. And then he goes, wow, he says, being damaged works good on you. He says, you cocky bastard. And that's when he starts fighting him again. He knocks 17 out, and then he keeps on trying to fight them, and they're like, okay, what are we going to do? Like, how are we going to beat him? And then Goku's like, well, what if we do this? He says, if we can get him in a coordinated attack, he says, what if that works? And he says, okay. 17 goes, okay, what do you want to do? He says, me and Vegeta will go ahead and continue fighting him, maybe be the main opponent, and then you get up from behind. He says, okay. So they start doing that, and Jiren's like, you done scheming? And then they start fighting again, and Vegeta and Goku actually are about ready to start heading out, and then 17 uses a blast in Jiren's face, and that's when they start fighting him again. Coordinated attacks. Vegeta and Goku are fighting Jiren, and then 17's waiting, and then all of a sudden he starts blasting at Jiren, and Jiren says it's not going to work at the same time. And then as soon as that happens, he looks at Vegeta. Goku goes, okay, we need to use our attacks all at once. Goku's on one side, Vegeta's on another, and then 17 is in the middle. And then we see Vegeta using Final Flash, we see Goku using Kamehameha Wave, and Jiren is holding on to this like in an energy form, like in a shield with his power, and then he just blasts all 3 of them in all different directions, and the blast just gets caught up in them. Vegeta's knocked down, Goku's knocked down, 17's knocked down, and they're having a hard time getting up. And then you just see where Jiren says time's up. Next thing you know, boom, here comes Frieza. Frieza knocks Jiren right in the face, and he starts fighting him. He says, I'm not going to let you guys take me down. He says, I'm not going to forgive what you did to me. And then Jiren just knocks Frieza out, and then Frieza is into a crater, and he's like, screw the damn rules. You deserve to be killed by me. He goes into golden form, And then he tries to attack Jiren again, and then as soon as he does that, Jiren stops him with his eyes and then knocks the shit out of Frieza again, and then plunges his ass in the dirt. And he says, and he just kind of gives that look like, bitch, you really think all four of you are going to come kill me? And then we see where 17 blasts against with Jiren, and then he says, why are you so? He says, I haven't given up yet. And he just looks, and then he says, Universe 7 will be protected and will survive. And then Belmont gets in, and he says, what then? He says, what do you mean? He says, if you obtain the Super Dragon Balls, what are you going to do with them? He goes, I'm going to take a cruiser with my family. And he just looks at him. He says, really? He says, yeah, I'm serious. He says, isn't that what everyone is here for, to do something with their family? And then he looks at Jiren. He says, so, Jiren, what's your wish? He says, yes, I too have a wish of my own. And then Belmont just looks down. He says, I should have known. He says, Jiren, he says, you are so arrogant. And he just looks around everybody. And then you see his Supreme Kai going, Belmont, what? He says, let me tell you all something about Jiren. And this is when we get into the backstory of Jiren, which was absolutely amazing. He starts stating that when Jiren was young, he lost his parents to an evildoer. It looks like his whole entire village was destroyed. Jiren was a very happy child. And then he says, and someone saved him. A stranger saved him. He says, then he became his teacher. And then it shows Jiren being trained by his teacher. He says, over time, he says he gained new companions that became his friends. He says, and then the evildoer returned. He says, Jiren and his companions fought against him. He says, but unfortunately, Jiren lost most of his companions and his teacher in the process. And then when that happened, Jiren tried to rise up on his own. Nobody would join him, and he was alone. And then we see, of course, where he says, in that moment, Jiren learned that trust is meaningless. Strength is the only thing that matters. And we just see where everyone's in shock, and he's just kind of looks, and the next thing you know, this is what Jiren says. He says, enough out of you, Belmont. And he just explodes because he goes, he says, you really think that you can change the past with your wish? He says, you're not going to let it go. And he just, look like I struck a nerve. So we actually got to see a big glimpse out of Jiren because he lost his family. He lost the man that taught him martial arts. He lost other friends. And he basically pretty much built the Pride Troopers, is what my understanding of this was. He says what Belmont said is that instead of using trust, he used strength, and because strength is justice, and that's what I guess made the Pride Troopers. And that's when, of course, he's like thinking, you think that everything's going to be okay, and the next thing you know, you just see 17 and Jiren fighting it out, and then as soon as that happens, he knocks 17 just out of the blue, and we see every time Jiren still comes out winning. And then finally he says, you really think, he says, all teamwork's going to win? You really think trust is that? He says, no. He says, strength is always what's going to matter. And then he starts using a huge blast, a huge, massive blast. And then we start seeing where he says it's time to end this, and he just throws it right directly at 17, Frieza, Goku, Vegeta. And then right when this is coming, they're like, it's done. And when we see this, 17 gets in front of the blast using all his energy to hold off, and then you see 18 saying, you're not strong enough, run away. And then Vegeta saying, you damn idiot, at least get out here and save yourself. And he's holding on. He says, he looks at Goku and Vegeta. He says, remember, he says, I gave up the cruiser for you guys. He says, you gotta survive. And then he says, this whole human thing. He says, what this is all about, self-sacrifice. And then as soon as that happens, all you see is a white glow, and you see barriers with Vegeta and Goku. 17 is engulfed in the blast, and then we just see Jiren looking around. You see the entire mountain destroyed, and we also see Vegeta and Goku floating, and then the barrier breaks, and he says, 17, he says, you gave up your life for us. He says, just even for a little bit. And then he says, I guess even though that weakling gave you weakling some time to spare, and he just kind of went down, and then they're both in the dirt, and then Vegeta gets right back up. And he goes, I'm going to be the one to take you down. I'm going to be the one to knock you off. And eventually, 17 used a self-destruct sequence to sacrifice himself to disrupt the blast. So Jiren did not get no penalty. 17 is not there no more. He did get eliminated, but he is now gone. He is dead. And 18 took a real hard hit to it. She kept on trying to grab her fist, and Now, the only ones as of right now that are in the tournament is Jiren, Goku, Vegeta, and Frieza, more than likely. They are still in the tournament. We do not know if Frieza got eliminated. More likely he did not, so he's still there. And then we go into next week's preview, which I will get into in another video. Hope you guys enjoyed this. This was absolutely, I gotta say, 17 was the MVP of this. We got to see Jiren's backstory, which I will definitely do a video on. And then we also got to see more of Frieza as well. That was absolutely amazing. Just that alone, man, that made my night. It was just absolutely crazy. But let me know what you guys think about this. Comments down below. Hope you guys are enjoying your day, your night, wherever you're located. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you guys didn't, go check it out. It was an amazing episode. I got nothing to say other than it was just absolutely amazing. The anime was absolutely fantastic. The backstory about Jiren was amazing. The self-sacrifice of 17 was unbelievable. And just everything was just an unbelievable episode. So, hope you guys really enjoyed this. If you guys did, leave a like, subscribe. Links downstairs below as normal. Hope you guys are enjoying your day, your night, and I'll see you guys in the next one.